Hi everyone, Melissa here. Today I am back with my Zodiac series for the year. So I'm doing my Zodiac design for June, which is Gemini. Now I looked up Gemini and I got actually quite a few different colors. I got a lot of yellow, but I got also some green, and one site I saw in particular that I really like gave the colors and then also gave different parts of the personality that kind of match with that color that make it a really good color for that zodiac sign. So for this, I'm going to be doing colors I'm going to be using. They're going to have green, pink, white, and black. So the green is supposed to represent the balance of Gemini, because green represents the balance of nature. The pink is because Gemini are loving people, and then the black is representative of their power and strength, and then the white because they are very easygoing and passionate in nature. So I think it's going to be a really beautiful color palette putting these colors together. And of course for the green, the pink, I'm going for a more natural, naturey kind of neutral kind of colors. You know, I love, these are actually my two favorite colors, kind of like a sage and a mauve. That's me, my favorite. So I could not resist going this direction. The colors are Laurel from Rebel Nail, and then this one from Rebel is Days of Rebel 2027. So this is a harder one to find. It's from, is it from pre-Christmas 2020? But it's one of my favorite like natural neutral pinks. And then I'm also going to be incorporating a little bit of this color Pine from West Coast Dipp'd, this like nice darker piney color, just to add a little bit more depth in the green that's in the marble. And then for my white, I'm just going to be using French White by Double Dipp'd. I'm going to be using, so this tool right here is something that I have been working with Chaos Concepts. They make like finger rests and bottle holders and all kinds of great 3D printed stuff that you can use for doing your nails at home. They are the ones who made this that I use all the time, my Dipp'd in Chaos. You can see it's well loved. It needs a cleaning because I was using it for some practice earlier, but I've been working with them on creating a marbling tool that is reusable and washable and great for longer nails as well as shorter nails, and will use the smallest amount of powder possible. So we're not wasting a bunch of powder, and it's reusable. So we're not using those plastic spoons that end up being thrown away or breaking. And I'm really excited about this. This is the latest prototype she sent me, and I'm really loving it so far. It has a curved inside, so when you put the design in there, it lends well to the curve of the nail when you lay your nail in. It comes right up to the edge here, so you can get your cuticle up in there and make sure that your entire nail gets covered. The bottom is flat still, so it's not going to be rolling around and messing up your design, which is great. It has a little short handle so you can hold on to it. I think it's working great. So I'm going to use this today for my design, and I would love to hear what all of you think below if you'd be interested in this, because I want to talk with her about having this released. But just let me know what you think, and when I know more from her or when I've heard more, I'll get more information about it. So for the design itself, for the marble, I'm gonna kind of do a little bit of color blocking of the marble as well. So I'm gonna do marble about half of this nail, and no, actually a little more than half of this nail, and a little more than half of this nail. But for the colors, I'm gonna go ahead and dip my solid colors. I do have my peel base down as well, so we will be doing the method to help make sure that my color blocking doesn't mess up my peel base. But I'm gonna go ahead and put my colors down. I'm gonna do Laurel on the pinky because I'm gonna have this nail be half Laurel, half Marble, and then my Dior 27 here, here, and then half here. But for now, I'm just putting the solid nails down. Okay, got those colors down. So now I'm going to start working on these two nails. I'm going to just push these colors aside for now. So I'm going to start by doing a single coat of the dip base over the top of this peel base. That way when I pull my tape up, it doesn't pull my peel base up. Okay, so I'm gonna place the nail so that it's covering about a third of the nail, and then I have about 2/3 of the nail that is still showing. I'm trying to get it nice and straight this way. Can be a little difficult. Okay, now both of these open spaces, I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 layers of the French white on them. Okay, when I did that, I tried to make sure I didn't overlap the tape a whole lot with the liquid because I am going to be spending a little bit more time before I pull that tape up than I usually do with a color block. Just because I'm going to be setting up the marble and getting both of them done before I pull the tape up. Now for our little marbling friend. So I'm going to start, I don't need to use the full length of this because I'm only going about to here. So I'm not going to be filling powder all the way up. Like I said, the goal is to waste as little powder as possible because this is a wasteful marbling technique as opposed to the no waste ones, but it has its merits. It's much easier than some of the other techniques are. So it's definitely a really great beginning marble technique for people to do. So I'm going to pour some of my white in here, filling up about to here, and not filling up, I'm not loading it in there. See, I'm just gently sprinkling, but I want it to kind of cover that bottom area. Okay, now I'm going to get my other 3 colors here opened up so I can use them. I'm going to use my scooper edge, or my scraper edge, or my, sorry, my cuticle pushing edge of my cuticle pusher here, and just getting a tiny little scoop of the pink. And I'm going to kind of tap it on in kind of like lines, spaced apart lines, not perfect, like clumps, it doesn't matter. Then get my Laurel. I'm gonna do kind of the same thing, but between those pink lines, I'm gonna tap out some green spots. Oh, it's a large one. Not as many of that one because I'm also going to be doing this one. This is just a darker kind of version of this, and it adds a little more depth to the color, kind of make sure it really stands out a little bit better. All right, now it's time for our swirl. So I'm gonna use my little water marbling tool here, and I'm gonna do just kind of a swirl going diagonally, and I'm not sticking the tip of this all the way down to the bottom of where the powder is. I'm kind of swirling along the top. It's gonna bring some of that white up, and it's going to push some of this other color into like marbly looking lines. Right now it's very linear, very uniformed, because we're just going in one direction back and forth. I'm gonna give it a gentle tap, not too much because I don't want the colors to start mixing. And then I'm gonna go do the same thing back and forth, but just going side to side, or I guess at this, the way we're looking at it, it's up and down. But it's just giving it a different direction for the marble to go. Okay, that's looking really pretty. I'm gonna put that down. Try not to rustle it up too much. And I'm gonna go in with the first nail. It's already at the edge where I need it to be, so I'm just gonna lay this nail in to that marble. Make sure I get that whole area covered. Looks great. Okay, now as you can see, this already has some color in it, but that's okay. I'm gonna add more to it, kind of the way I did, maybe not as much green here or here, but I'm gonna reuse this and remarble it. Yay, that, okay, they definitely came out looking similar, which is the goal. It's really using this kind of technique for marbling. You can get so many different looks depending on in what order you layer your colors, what way you tap them onto the colors or on each other, how you swirl them. I mean, there are so many different ways you can get the marble to look, so trying to replicate the way that you put the colors down and the way you swirl and the order, all of that is pretty important if you plan on doing more than one marble nail with the same colors. All right, so I'm gonna brush her off, and then let's pull these up. Okay, I think before I put these colors down, I'm going to do a dip of clear over the marble side. That way I don't end up accidentally, because this is a pretty narrow space, I'm going to be freehanding it. I don't want to accidentally get the other color on top and then mess up and have to file it down and then file off my marble, and just can be a big mess. So I'm just going to do some clear to help prevent that. Now, if you have any, you're like, hey, Melissa, what do you do with that powder in there when you're done with the marble? Well, either if the colors are very similar and it's not going to change the color in the jar, sometimes like if it's a darker pink, a middle pink, and a lighter pink, then I'll just pour it all into the middle pink and it all evens out. But when it's a bunch of different colors like this, I do have a toss jar. And toss jars are fun because in the end you can end up having some weird color, you know. This just happens to be a clear that I had contaminated too much to use, so it became my toss jar. Who knows, one day it may become a beautiful color, or it may be brown, who knows. Okay, so now I'm going to put the other colors down. I'm going to do the pink on this side and the green right here, and I'm just going to freehand that in. Okay, now you see like the line between these two is not absolutely perfect straight. I mean, it is going to straighten out a bit when I file down, but that's because we're going to be putting like a piece of tape down the center, so don't have to really stress out about getting that super crisp line because we're going to be covering it. I'm going to go ahead and activate these and then file them, and then come back because I'm going to add some more detail to the marble and then finish the nails off. Okay, so I have those filed. I'm gonna do one layer of dip base on both of these because there's activator in these layers underneath. It'll dry pretty quickly, which is what I want. I'm just trying to kind of seal the dip powder before I put gel on it, because I'm gonna be doing some marble lines with some gel because I still need to add the black. I only have my green, my pink, and my white so far, so I need to add some black to this, and I'm going to do that by kind of doing some marble lines on here. Okay, that's going to be dry after a second, and then I'm just going to kind of buff it. It's got a little bit of like wrinkles in it, and I want a smooth surface. I'm going to just use like a dotting tool to kind of apply really sketchy kind of lines here. I'm going to be blending them out, or kind of bleeding them out with alcohol. I want to give them, just put a little bit down kind of in the general size and shape I want them. Okay, I'm going to be using this little brush. It kind of comes to a point here. This was a brush set that I got from Royal House of Beauty. I'm going to get some alcohol to help me kind of spread this out, thin it, and make the lines finer. Just going to pour a little into the cap, get a little on the brush. Don't need it to be like flooding off, just a tiny bit. And then I'm just gonna run the brush along the side of the lines that I've drawn, kind of a scratchy motion, or a wiggly, I don't know what word I want, but kind of to give it just a rough look. Okay, now that I have those lines on there in a way that I like, it is time for some nail striping tape now. Nail striping tape can be a nightmare, which is why I've got this instead. This is decal, actually. They're from Decals by Melissa, and they're seriously game-changing when it comes to applying nail tape. I've struggled so much to not only get nail tape down properly, but to also keep it there. But this is like a sticker. It's just gonna go where I want it to go and stay there and be amazing. That is the plan. So I'm just gonna put it so that the end of it is here at the cuticle line, and then align it so it lands just down the line there. All right, I'm just gonna finish it all off with my double dipped Ultra Shine No Wipe top coat. All right, there is our finished Gemini marble. You can see that nice up close, that the detail. I think it turned out beautiful, and I love these colors together. Of course, anybody who knows me knows I love green and pink together, but I hope that you all enjoyed this. I hope all my Gemini friends out there love this marble. Let me know what you think. Also, let me know what you think about this awesome marbling tool, and if anybody would be interested in this. I'm thinking this might be the final prototype. I'm thinking this might be what we go with because it worked so very well. But yeah, let me know. And as always, thank you for joining me. I will see you next time.